Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week, we're gonna dive into the 60 ragtop Impala and what the boys are doing on it this week. We've already had the motor installed. The motor was built by Jeff. He's gonna give you a bit of an update on that. And right now, the boys are wet sanding it to give it that glass appearance, and they're using the linear block systems. But first, let's not forget about our giveaway with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Edition. All you've gotta do is subscribe to the channel and comment the secret code word that will be hidden somewhere in this video in the comments below. Let's get to it.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. I'm Dave. As you can see, I've kind of switched up my projects here. The Rolls Royce has went outside. I'm gonna be doing some engine work for this 1960 Impala that we're gonna be building up. Freshly painted, so it's covered. We don't wanna get any scratches on it. As of right now, I'm gonna be swapping up some exhaust manifolds, gonna be mounting them to the block. I'm gonna be taking the transmission off because as you can see it, how nice and fancy all this paint is. I don't want to be scratching anything. So when I separate them, it just makes it a bit easier to work on. So specifically today, I'm going to be mocking stuff up. So it's a lot of kind of eyeing and looking at stuff, making sure things fit. Jeff actually had already previously had this engine and transmission in here before all the paint job was done. So I have to just make sure that everything still lines up before I bolt anything in, because once it's bolted in, I don't want to move it again, because that's how you can scratch stuff, kind of dent things. So as of right now, I've got my brand new headers that are be going on, nice and shiny, kind of relocates the exhaust output a bit than the regular exhaust manifolds that come on these stock LS engines. A little bit about the engine. It's been modified quite a lot. We have new intake manifolds coming on the front here. Nothing is stock about it. We've got kind of a little bit of an update. So we've covered the coil packs so that it looks nice and fancy. We have a nice matching blue color for the valve covers. And it just makes everything look a bit nicer underneath the engine because this is going to be a show car. It's going to be going into shows, so the hood's gonna be open, the trunk's gonna be open. People are gonna be looking closely at it, so we want it to look good for everybody that comes to the car shows. Jeff was the one that did all the updates on this engine. He had it from top to bottom. As you can see, it's nice and clean. He can update you on kind of the specifications going in and out of it, horsepower of the engine, because this is going to also be a performance vehicle. It's not just a show car, it will be being driven. We're gonna be doing some burnouts in it. It's gonna look good and it's gonna go fast.
Hey guys, it's Jeff from the Driven Shop. We got the 1960 Impala in the shop here. The boys are just finishing up, and I'm here to tell you about some of the cool things we did with this engine. We did many upgrades to it. It was an LQ4 block. We put a bunch of cool stuff on it. We got everything from short chrome headers, MSD ignition coils, looks beautiful, nice red color. We've got the body color valve covers that we did. The boys did them up nice for us. We got the brushed aluminum intake with a 102 millimeter throttle body. The engine that we've got in here, we're looking with the LQ4, it's a steel block as opposed to aluminum on the LS1s. This is steel, so we should be pumping 400 to 500 horsepower by the time we're done this. We got to get some tuning done and stuff like that, so we won't really know until we get it on the dyno and really get it dialed in and see what's going on. Hopefully by the time this is all done, we'll be able to do some greasy burnouts in this thing. I don't know if we'll get to the point of shooting flames, maybe somewhere down the road, but for now it should just be a good, strong daily cruiser, lots of power, more than we need, and yeah, it'll really just get us rolling. Check us out for the rest of the build on this. We're trying to pump it, get it ready for World of Wheels this year, and you can come visit us there and see it.
For the week, I'm going to be trying to mount this inside the car. That's my job as of right now. So this has got to go in the car so that we free up room. This is going to come off the pallet. We can move this around the shop a bit easier when the engine's inside of it. So I'm going to be mounting exhaust manifolds on it. The reason why I'm doing that is because it's an easy part that I can actually hold on to the engine from. I do have a couple lift points that I'm going to use also. The transmission has to come off in order for me to do all of that. So that's why I have to mount things onto it in order to hang it, because once the transmission's off, it's not as stable sitting on a pallet, and I want to make sure that I'm not going to be damaging anything. In order for me to mount this engine and transmission into this car, I have to make a couple modifications. Jeff has actually previously made some engine mount brackets for another car that I had to use them on. So this is just me mocking up on cardboard. I'm gonna have to cut out some new ones. This is where the original engine would mount up to, is these holes on this frame right here. And this isn't made to go into here. This car is from 1960. I'm sure this engine is around mid-2000s. Modifications have to be done to make that work, and this is the first one that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be making some plates out of here. The plates actually mount up to my engine mount, which will go off of this bolt right here, and that bolt will go to the engine mount, which will go down to my frame with the help of those brackets. Hopefully the next time you see me, this engine is going to be in this car. If you guys like what we're doing, if you like what we're building, please like, share, subscribe, show your friends, because the more viewers we get, the more stuff we can build. Hey guys, last time you saw me, I still had the engine on the floor. I was kind of just getting the transmission mocked up, making sure everything fit together before I actually take it apart and install it in the car. As you can see now, I have actually installed it into the car. We have these nice color matching valve covers that cover our ignition coils to the spark plugs. Just gives it a little bit of an accent, make it look a little prettier underneath. New intake, we've kind of modified the LS motor a little bit. The front is not fully manufactured, fully put together yet. We've actually had to reach out to ICT Billet. They're a company that makes LS motor parts and accessories. We're going to have to modify a few things underneath for the transmission to fit too. We have a transmission mount in the back that we just had to kind of cut some L-shaped notches into it to fit properly up with our original transmission rear mount so that everything fits properly. That's what happens when you're doing custom cars though. This LS engine technically was never inside this 1960 Impala. So what we have to do is make it fit, and that's what we're doing here. Little tiny fixes, little tiny modifications to make it work. The hard part is, since this is already all painted, my frame is already all painted, you can see it's all shiny, I don't want to scratch anything. So actually before you came over, all of this was covered with nice covering so that if anybody leans over on it or accidentally touches it with something, it's not going to scratch, it's not going to leave any gouges. This is still going to get polished one more time once we are doing everything professionally done. So it will have a mirror finish when it's done, but I don't want to cause any issues to get that mirror finish up. So at this point in time, I'm now finished more on my mechanical side of things. I've installed my engine, I've installed my transmission. We're now going to push this back into the body side. These guys are going to be repolishing this. What we did with this to make it a mirror finish is we actually clear coated it. Then we got the guys to polish the clear coat, and then they clear coated it again. Because if you actually look down, you can see how long these wings are, how long the fenders are. We want that to look shiny and straight for anybody that comes to World of Wheels. Anybody that looks at this car, we want it to have that professional shine mirror finish. So this is gonna go back to the body guys. They're gonna do their stuff. They're gonna mount the hood, they're gonna mount the doors, they're gonna mount the trunk, and then it's gonna actually come back to us, and I'm gonna be installing the PSI wiring harness. We're gonna be installing the interior seats, the interior electrical, the dash, all of those components, but those will be for another video. We're gonna be shooting lots of videos coming up. You can follow us on our social media. You can follow us on our YouTube page because you wanna keep up with what we're doing on this. This car is gonna have full air suspension also. You don't wanna miss anything that we're doing in our upcoming videos.
And the code word for this week's video, guys, is Ride Tech.
The reason we chose Ride Tech is pretty simple. That's what's on this car. They made an air ride system extremely easy for us to do, utilizing a lot of the stock componentry. These cars come with an independent front suspension and a 3-link rear on coils with a solid rear axle. All the Ride Tech system does is give you a lot of brackets and some bags, and it goes into the car with all the stock parts. Now with our rides, we did the Endura on the frame, we Endura all the suspension and replaced all the rubbers as well. So it's like a brand new car on air. If you take a look underneath, we've got beautifully painted axles. We've got our custom built panhard bar, our added sway bars, and all the bags back there with those nice Ride Tech shocks. So these 1960 Impalas have a trunk you could go camping in. We're gonna hide all the air system here, the control system, the batteries for the car, and we're gonna make sure the stereo pounds with our friend Stefan over at Visions. We have the chrome compressors coming, chrome tanks coming. We're gonna make sure it all hides up in here, looks nice and clean, and then this is gonna get fully built in with some beautiful enclosures and give us that resto mod look. Now, we still have to control that system. We're controlling it with an AccuAir H3P system that not only monitors ride height based on sensors, it also monitors it based on pressure. So when you're turning those corners and rolling into that show and you want to drop it low or anything like that, it automatically does it. If you're pulling onto a hoist, it's so sensitive, it'll even try to level the car out for you there. These are the systems that we're running on the car, and that's why this week's word is Ride Tech. Now, because this car is a factory color and externally, it's gonna look like a restored car. Underneath and in the engine bay, it's gonna be a resto mod. We actually have a pretty cool rendering of what this car might look like. So come on with me and check it out. Of course, you guys know Ryan is the one that's gonna win us the awards on the body shop. I can't do what Ryan does, so what are you up to today, Ryan?
Right now, we're just doing a little bit of assembly for this cash car here. This is our 63 Impala SS. We're just getting ready to put these wheel liners in so we can install the fenders, we can do all the brackets for the hood, put the hood on, and then block for our final paint.
Of our Impalas, which one's your favorite?
This one, of course, because I've done all the work on it, so I think this one for sure. I like the color on this one a little bit better, and it's got air ride suspension and stuff, so this one's a little more of a resto mod style, but yeah, I'd say this one just because, like I said, I've done all the work. I've done all the metal, the floors, the trunk, all the body work on the outside. I painted the roof. Yeah, so I'd say this one is for now.
You gotta come with us. Kaylee, El Jefe. Yeah. So we're just telling everybody that they, oh, you got it up, sweet. So this is what the 60 reg is gonna be way cooler than. Because ours is on air, ours has a cooler motor. It's a pretty beautiful car. What do you think?
I can't wait for ours to be done.
All right, I can get back to work.
All right.
And that's the update on the 1960 Impala reg top that we're doing at the shop here. We're gonna have this car ready for World of Wheels Calgary on March 28th to 30th. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Hey guys, come in here and I can see Ryan and Graham, they're doing some filming, but one thing we haven't done yet is introduce our camera guy that makes us all look good. Hey Graham, I'm just interrupting the shot.
Yeah, I was just trying to talk about the turbos.
Yeah, well, they are pretty cool. Yeah. But Ryan, we haven't introduced Graham. Graham, introduce yourself. You're the guy that makes us look cool. You're the guy that gets our cool shots and makes us look like studs.
Yeah. Well, I'm the guy behind the camera. You might know me from the Auto 23 channel, but yeah, I'm with the Driven guys now. We're making some cool videos. Make sure you stay tuned all summer. I got a cool video for you guys coming up really soon. We're gonna drift some Audis on some ice. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.
All right, let's let him get back to work there. That's Graham and Ryan. You guys keep talking about turbos.
My name's Jenna.
It's